Good day. Today we are going to discuss parasitic helmet human trichoriasis. It will be presented by Ferrer Jewelin, Lagurologine, Lafranco Emeros, Marbibi Melaine, and Sabastonio. It will be submitted to Mom de Meapi Begalay.
Now, let's discuss about the brief overview of human trichoriasis. Human trichoriasis is a parasite or organism that live on or in the host and gets its food from or at the expense of its host. And this parasite can cause disease in humans. Whipworm, hookworm, and ascaris is known stool-transmitted helminths. These helminthic infection or parasite live in the cecum and ascens in the columns of the human host. An estimated 604 to 795 million people are infected worldwide. Trichuriasis is an infection with the parasite Trichoriasis or Trichoria or a whipworm, a very common intestinal helminthic infection worldwide. Now let's proceed to characteristic of Trichoriasis. Trichoria is a gastrointestinal nematode in the family of Trichoriidae. Genus Trichoris. T. Trichoriasis adult parasites are characterized by a long thin interior end that lies in burrow in the host mucosa, and thicker end that extend into the intestinal lumen.
Classification of Trichoriasis. Kingdom Animalia, phylum Nematoda, class Enoplea, order Trichocephalida, family Trichoridae, genus Trichoris, species Trichora aka Trichocephalus trichoris. Host or host range. The species or T. trichora is found in the human populations throughout the world, mainly in tropical and subtropical regions. It is estimated that around 10% of the world populations, 800 million people, may be infected. Parasites are very prevalent in regions where human excrement, night soils is used to fertilize vegetable gardens. Infections are typically over the spheres where a few individuals harbor most of the worms. To pathogenesis or modes of infections and transmissions. Whipworms form three different developmental stages: eggs, larvae, and adults. The eggs are ellipsoidal to barrel shape, measuring 70 UM in length by 35 UM in width and have two distinct mucoid polar plugs. They are typically embryonated in fecal samples and develop infective larvae in the external environment. Adult worms have elongate whip-like bodies, 3 to 7 centimeter long, with a long thin interior end that suddenly become thick at the posterior end. That's all.
Human trichoriasis is spread via fecal oral transmission. The ingested egg hatch in intercrest on the small bowel as larvae. After maturing for 1 to 3 months, the worms migrate to the cecum and ascends to the colon, where they attach to the superficial epithelium and mate and lay eggs. This helminthic infection heavily infects children, although there are also cases where immigrants or travelers get infected from returning in endemic areas with poor sanitation and hygiene. There are locally acquired cases in some southern areas. In this slide, we have a diagram on the stages of trichoriasis. The first one is the embryonated eggs, pus, and feces. Its cell stage, its advanced. Then the third one is the advanced cleavage, and the fourth stage is the embryonic eggs that are ingested by humans, and its maturity to larvae, and lastly, its adulthood in the colon. After that, they mate and lay eggs.
Now, let's talk about the symptoms of trichuriasis. Trichuriasis is an infection with Trichoris trichuria. Its symptoms include abdominal pain, diarrhea, and in heavy infections, anemia and undernutrition. If it is left untreated, trichuriasis may cause severe infection or complication such as chronic dysentery, rectal prolapse, and growth retardation. It can also be diagnosed through finding eggs in the stool. We can prevent trichoriasis by washing hands with soap and warm water before handling food or eating. It is also important that we wash, peel, or cook all raw vegetables and fruits before eating them, particularly this food grown using manure fertilizers. Now, let's talk about the control and the treatment of the disease trichoriasis. Since whipworms is resistant to many anthelmintic treatments due to their relative inaccessibility, mebendazole and albendazole have proven effective, and parental oxantal palmate and flabendazole have some activity. Thiabendazole is also effective but has an unpleasant side effects.
Control and treatment of the disease. Since whipworms have many resistance to many anthelmintic treatments due to their relative inaccessibility, mebendazole and albendazole have proven effective, and parental oxantal palmate and flabendazole have some activity. Thiabendazole is also effective but has unpleasant side effects. Conclusion. Therefore, their soil-transmitted infections are among the most frequent illnesses in the world, affecting the poorest and impoverished people. This parasite or infection is spread via eggs present in human feces, which contaminate soil in areas with poor sanitation. To prevent being infected, we must educate our children in properly washing their hands before eating and washing vegetables or fruits that they will prepare.
We have learned something about our discussion about human trichoriasis, and that's all. Thank you.